So my content connection buddy responded to us dating from the stop.
From the swamp.
Yeah, from wherever you said.
You're Danny from the swamp.
Yeah.
Danny from the swamp.
That is what he said.
Is there a swamp emoji? Let's look into that actually at some point. But yeah, Danny did a special episode. He dedicated time to us. We just seen part 1.
Yeah.
Part 2 has not dropped yet.
Mm-hmm.
You looking forward to it? Are you heavily anticipating this?
I'm looking forward to it. I had such a good time.
Did you like the video?
You got to understand,
I
people.
had such a good time watching the first one.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I actually enjoyed it. I was in Puerto Rico. I was sitting back. I had like a coconut with a long ass straw. I was like, let me see what these niggas talking about.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Danny's #1 fan flew out, you know.
He paid for his own ticket.
To underperform. That's crazy.
To talk about you. Think about that.
That's I'm
doing it. You can't say that. That's it.
You're doing it big.
And that was self-admitted too.
Huh?
That was self-admitted. He tried to get ahead of that.
He's media trained.
I forgot.
What did you expect?
Exactly.
He's a media mogul.
Oh, we're laymen's in our field.
Nigga,
I forgot.
You Daniel son. You know nothing.
We are nothing.
Oh my God. All right. I mean, it's just all right. I mean, I'm only responding to Danny. That's the only person where
that's the only body that's
that's the only guy that was there.
That's really you should have just ran an ISO on that. But yeah, so Danny did lay out the timeline of everything, like, and there's nothing inaccurate, I would say, about the timeline of like how we met and all those things, right? So all that was pretty accurate. He did highlight the parts the moments to where he felt like it was definitely like, okay, these niggas don't fuck with me.
Now,
yeah.
How do you want to address that? And when I say you, I'm looking at the reflection in your glasses and looking at this nigga. Because I'm not gonna lie. I'm sipping my coconut. I'm like, what the fuck Danny talking about? It get to the part where he was like, yo, the nigga I was shouting them niggas out and he told me I was glazing. I watched the clip. I didn't even remember you saying that shit, my nigga. It's crazy. You whispered it so softly. You was like, hey, brother. You got a little something right there.
Oh my God.
And look, why?
That shit had me crying though.
And you want to know what's crazy?
Funny,
somebody in the comments.
Why?
Let me say it's funny. It was somebody in the comments. It was somebody in the comments. I didn't see it, but you told me. He was like, nah, Danny for real had something on his mouth. I legit went back to the video. I'm like, it had to have been something on his mouth. It wasn't nothing on his mouth. So I was probably making a little joke, like, you know, hey, Danny, stop sucking this. It was a little joke.
It was a little joke.
At the end of the day, look, I really have the same point from last time. Which is like, I didn't know it was unwarranted.
I'm double down
feelings.
on everything from last week. Listen, before we get it started, everything's getting doubled down on in this bitch.
Because I didn't know he had these feelings.
I didn't either.
It's so crazy.
I didn't either.
And he kept talking about like the biggest thing was his appearance. All right. That's another thing. All right. Now, how I feel about joking about a nigga's appearance, it's a very touchy subject, but a lot of times, at least for me as a man, if I say something about your appearance, you shouldn't feel obligated to like have a feeling of emotion. And if you do, it should last for 5 seconds because you shouldn't be worried about what another man is saying about your appearance.
Yeah, like what you was walking around thinking you was handsome.
Especially if it was a joke.
Danny cares a lot though, and it shows on his behavior in terms of Danny's in a lot of comment sections of videos that aren't his videos.
True. Nigga.
And
he be in Too Clean Jones.
He's in too many comment sections.
He be in all these comments.
As my content connection buddy.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Can you even say that with confidence right now?
Yeah, I can't remember. Did he call me a content?
I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Damn, what was it?
Content connection, buddy.
Content connection. It was content connection. I had the buddy.
You was connection.
Yeah,
sounds like a fire
my
group.
COE buddy. But yeah, you can see, and they're not always going. You can't go tit for tat with the peanut gallery. We don't do that. What are we doing? You don't do that.
The shells break too easily.
No, don't do that. So it does. So I didn't realize how serious it was. I ignored a lot of these things. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't realize how serious he took a lot of, or how sensitive, because that comes off as sensitive whether it is or not.
But and honestly, I had no idea it was getting to him because we rag on each other all the time.
Right,
But you got to understand,
and it's crazy that he said that about him. Nigga, we rag on Lauren every
Lauren
day.
gets it. F Mac gets
first
it.
off,
You
It
get
disgusts me sometimes. I'm like, God damn, I got to. Nigga, this nigga is look at this nigga. He has his little uniform on.
If
He
you
look
watch
all-
LOI the show, you know for real.
you know for real.
Anybody should be complaining, it's Lauren.
Anybody.
He's the only one that gets up on that crucifix willingly. Like, but he'll volunteer to, like, he'll nail himself.
But at the same time, like he said, we wasn't really in contact with him. So it was a lot of like just
true.
loose air.
Yeah.
You know.
We took the report that we had with him on the show, all like the 4 or 5 times that he called in when he had a conversation. You asked the nigga questions. You know, you got to know him a little bit better. We took that as real rapport. And apparently it was just COE.
Yeah. But it's okay,
It
though.
was COE.
But it's okay, though. Because also, so in that timeline, so like, we all low-key saw the wipe your mouth, the first, we all saw that individually. We were all like...
We were all aghast.
Did everybody,
We was all like, what the...
did everybody chuckle?
It was funny.
It was a little funny. It
was hilarious,
Telling a nigga
actually.
to wipe his mouth before he speak is funny.
It's
For all the wrong reasons.
It was funny for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
but
but
when I saw it, I said, but this nigga ain't shit.
But it's like wipe your mouth.
gotta come clean.
But that's
You can understand why Danny would take offense to that.
it's crazy.
That shit had
This
me
is
dying.
really your fault.
I understand. And like, if that got to you, look, man, hey, I apologize. Because if that's what started all of this,
Yeah.
hey, nigga, I mean,
You can see how
Kinda
somebody would.
sensitive.
You can see how somebody.
Well,
would
no,
get
I can
offended
at
by
least see.
Of
It's
course.
always good to see.
What
It's
triggered
always
it?
good to know for each person where their point was,
Mm-hmm.
because like my point for me was when everything timeline wise that he laid out was fine. My point was me, I don't like passive aggressive niggas. I never have. You know what I'm saying? When niggas do passive aggressive shit, I get over aggressive. It's just, it's literally part of my nature, which is why I stand on everything I did last week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not going to, there's no point in getting hyped. We did that last week. If you want to see a beautiful performance, you go back last
You
week.
want to hear yelling and passion?
Yeah. But I don't like passive aggressive things either, especially when I thought we had a different rapport. So like, don't be passive aggressive towards me. I still stand on everything under Menace Material. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
He putting 10 twinkly toes down on that shit.
Yeah. So it was for me, it was the moments. He started with the back ends of the videos. And it was the back end of Joe Budden sends major warning to his co-host for slapping off. If you go to Danny's page, go to the back end of that video. It's when he has this cartoon thing going. He's taking shots.
Where he feels his most handsome.
Yeah.
Animated.
Yeah. So
got a radio face.
it started there. I can't remember. Oh wait. He was upset at us reviewing the 𝔓𝔦𝔑 clip. He was upset at the reviewing for the 𝔓𝔑𝔑𝔑 clip.
We gave him some critique.
Yeah, because remember when him and
So-
𝔓𝔑𝔑𝔑 started the podcast, and I was like, "This is literally a manipulation move."
So he did what he said we did.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's
Okay.
100%. Just so we could all throw that out
Yeah,
there.
so
yeah.
I don't know if that was too complicated of mental gymnastics.
So
right there, but
that's where it started, and I felt like I probably doubled down the most in that video. So I felt like was a sneak diss towards me. Either way, it don't really matter if it comes this direction. It's for everybody. The other video the next one was Joe Budden denies signing Rory Amal to bad contracts, and at the end, that was when he focused in on y'all.
you notice how none
And
of
that
these
was- yeah.
of these topics or premises lead with us, and it always ends with us somehow.
Yeah. We were a focal point over there at one point.
Yeah,
you know?
you know what I mean? We're keeping the spaces alive.
So at the end of that video, that was when he did the black screen. That was when he was like, it's these podcasters, you know, he's doing his performance.
He's taking
doing-
like weak jabs, but like the kind that like
Yeah,
you threw it with
it's
bad
like-
form, so you fuck around and broke your wrist.
Yeah,
you lost your
I was
pinky
just
nail.
like,
you slipped.
so as I'm watching these, mind you, niggas are sending them to me, obviously. Just like when we drop this response, niggas in your DM immediately, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just, we're getting them. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm gonna just let this nigga dry out. Cause he's doing the most right now. I'm all about keep the same energy at all times, the same energy or however you feel about them, keep that same energy on the microphone right here and in text messages. Cause I keep the same energy about who I fuck with and you fuck with, and on the mic and off the mic. You know what I'm saying?
There was a discrepancy.
Yeah, because I
how
keep
he was treating both of those mediums.
right
When he would get into group chats and text, it was a lot of sneak disses that he
Yeah.
knows that we're not gonna hear. So
Right,
at a certain
right,
point, it's like
right.
it's different when you say a joke, not to my face, but on a platform where you know I'm gonna hit. But if
Right.
you're just texting little sneaky, snidey, little scandalous shit in group
Exactly.
chats,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? It's you feel how you. So when you would do that, or if that would happen, I say, well, you better make sure you say that on the mic.
Because-
Don't do no passive aggressive. Write your name on the bullet.
Because
you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm about. It's if it's up, it's up. But put a name on
It's
the bullet.
always
Put your
fair
signature.
on this side.
Yeah.
It's always fair.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? The nigga's
So
not
that
fair.
was the legendary black screen. I didn't delete the black screen just because, even though YouTube does have an editor, why would I delete the black screen? It's titled, that chapter is titled Legendary Black Screen now. So
Yeah.
y'all can go watch that LOI episode. I can't remember exactly which one it was.
he could put more
But
views on our black.
Then there was
And then
also,
Cupcake.
so then there was other things as well too. So these are all the passive aggressive instances where I'm slowly just like, all right, my nigga.
Yeah.
Then okay, that was the YouTube instances. The ones, it was the Spaces incidences. That is right, actually. Where it would be like the name of the space, the name of the room. It's like you started doing these little, you started naming the room these little. Mind you, I'm already coming off the energy of these two videos, right? So now your next spaces is Science Room University. All right, slow down. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing. What's up with all this little poking and shit? You know what I'm saying? You doing all this poking.
Yo.
What's up? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And to be clear, these are just pokes. Like
Yeah, all
he
these
was-
little pokes. I don't put a name on the bullet. And let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
In his response video, he was acting like he was giving criticism
Yeah.
or
So
like notes on podcasting and what we doing when we talking to microphones. He's just
Right.
doing little snidey, snarky things, like things girls do,
right. So
like
yeah,
little
I
teenage
just,
girls.
and in all this, I still don't have no hate for Danny. It's what it is. I'm just everything needs to be laid out very clearly so that we can end this because two niggas going back and forth on the same level, we are wasting time, nigga. We sharing views, nigga.
nigga,
You know what I'm
this is
saying?
a clarity
and you renting
moment.
studio time. As a businessman, you rent studio time. You need to be able to make sure you can cover these overhead costs. Imagine if you pay for your man, your number one fan, to come too.
Oh my
You'd be
God.
in the hole right
He'd be
now.
in debt.
In the hole now, period. But you'd really be in the hole.
He didn't even get no butt from
We
it.
got to be careful about these overhead costs. That's very imperative around here. as a
It's not
business
going to be a
owner.
round trip next time.
Yeah.
So you got to find your way home.
Okay, it was a Science Room University. And I mean, at the time, they would bring us up. I remember one was just straight up called Menace Material. Again, I want to stress that this is after the snick disses. So there's also spaces being named after us. Niggas never really he never really went too crazy on conversations about us, always on spaces, always were kind of short as well. And then one thing I do want to say too, because I listened to some of the spaces over the last weekend as well too. You guys are correct in terms of most of the time that Menace Material and things of that names are being brought up, it is in a positive light. You are 100% correct about that. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's just I'm coming off the back of these two. So I do know that now if the peanut gallery comment hits you, it hits you. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know when you're not part of the peanut gallery. People like Caleb, Shells, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Jameson. Like there's certain people to where like I respect
too
these
clean.
people. I respect these people. You know what I'm saying? Like I respect their back and forth, their dialogue,
What they have to offer.
What they have to offer. They're there actually just having a good time. They're not trying to flex no. They're not trying to
Sell a course.
they're not trying to sell a subscription. You know what I mean? There's people there that are generally having a good time, and I respect those people.
Because
if
they're
that
not-
peanut gallery shit hit you, let it hit,
Yeah.
nigga.
Because
you
burn.
you are part of the peanut gallery.
You gotta understand, AJ. A lot of niggas are trying to find a way out any way possible as soon as possible.
Yeah, and
So
they-
this is their way out.
And attaching themselves to Danny is a really nice look.
It's so much of that.
It's so much of that. Oh, it's so
Niggas
much of
is-
that. Danny
niggas
has to
tryna
realize
find.
one of these. And I mean, during this like whole breakdown, bro, we gotta talk about because you my content boy. But yo,
There's some dead
we
weight
go.
around there.
We need you. I need you to understand what position you are at. You know what I'm saying? Because don't be cautious of the people that you allow around you. You are him. Let's be fair.
Well, don't go that far yet.
No.
Hold on.
In terms of like Danny from the stop, carving out a niche within the Joe Budden network, subcore, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He is integrated into the world. Period. Right? Whether hardcore fans definitely know who he is, but even some of the casual fans know who he is. Right? So you need to start moving with that energy as well, and be cautious about the people that you have come around you, because the platform of that social audio, it's only meant to destroy people and destroy you. And destroy the people that are users that are on there actively participating in beef and things of that nature, which is why places like Clubhouse are the way that they are. Like everything died out, but the thing that is living and breathing and thriving well is Whack 100, and this nigga's going up on there all the time. So
crabs in the barrel.
You are a person to know the right. You are a person that can text some of the biggest people in the urban podcasting space. You need to move like you can text the biggest people in the urban podcasting. You need to move like you can sit down with anybody. You don't, when people of notoriety do come up to your stage, it's time for you to get the other niggas out the way, because you don't want to ruin any sort of potential relationship that you could have with somebody else or a good back and forth and dialogue, because we got a bunch of niggas who want to be in the position that you're in. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so for me,
You niggas really are content buddies.
we are. So for me, I'm glad I saw that you just tweeted you're taking 2 weeks off. You need to take 2 weeks off. No questions asked of Spaces, because that ain't gonna do nothing but drag you down. You know what I'm saying? So you need a little break. Now, this is for the space people. There's a 2 week gap in the market right now. Who will rise to the occasion?
Who's taking the last
Who
shot?
is taking the last step?
Shout out to Jameson, man.
Because 2 Clean Jones is the number one clipper out here. Let's not get it fucked up. I need to make sure I put that in there. 2 Clean Jones is the number one, but this is also something that everybody that's just a clipper needs to be and mindful of. When Danny, somebody holding some of the most powerful spaces in terms of this little sector of the world, takes off, that's like if Joe Budden takes off. See, Joe Budden got way more catalog. Danny can go back. There's not that much space catalog that you can re-dissect. So what you gonna do? Danny's taking off for 2 weeks. Somebody better rise to the occasion, but we're gonna find out if you really built to be here. And if you're not really built to be here, you're part of the peanut gallery.
Are you a leader, nigga?
Yeah, are you going to... Are you grabbing the reins? Are you pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, nigga? Don't go drive for 2 months. Rocky Thunder. You got 2 weeks. You've been talking about starting these regular spaces for a long time. You've jumped up there. You've given us a little taste test of the video, and I do think the video will help.
It's a cool aspect.
I think the video is a good aspect, especially because it's not like you're driving. You're actually like sitting down. But if you don't do it in 2 weeks, then you're crazy.
Consistency.
If you don't do it within these 2 weeks that Danny takes off, you don't want it.
That's 14 days and 14
want
nights. Nigga.
Yep, you don't want it. And I don't want to hear, I don't really be on there talking. I fuck with Rocky. I don't have nothing bad to say, but I don't want to hear you talking about I'm about to start this space.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it if you're not active in these 14 days.
But the opportunity is there, though.
It's wide open. He's gone. Do it. If somebody got to step up to the plate, or Danny comes back and rehosts all these spaces. Now, he's still going to have his own space, of course, just because there's certain people that are only going to jump on stage for him.
Yeah.
But that's just what it is, though, you know?
Somebody got to step it up, nigga. There's some rookies on the bench in the NBA right now wishing they had this same shot.
Hell yeah.
Praying they starting point guard roll his ankle or something.
I'm trying to think, I'm trying to think of, that's what I meant to do. I wanted to look at the articles. I wanted to look at the chapters for the response that they have for us, because the chapters will tell me.
The chapters will give you good timeline.
Also, another thing, so I can address my point as well to Danny and to all the listeners as well too. For the people that, just to close that last point as well too. That's why last week when it seems like we were flying off the handle and that didn't seem like that bad. You're right, that wasn't that bad. These niggas kept poking though. So like it wasn't that something was said in that space. It was the instances had built up to that. Where I'm like I'm mid-recording, these niggas are still got my name in their fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, fuck all you. You know what I'm saying? Says if that's how we want to play, but that is always going to be the same. Let's be fair.
Yep.
But
it's like, yeah, man, he's pulling white women tactics. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yelling and
it's crazy.
screaming, getting in your face and shit.
Who?
Danny.
Actually, let me stay on the point of like
Swamp
be
King.
mindful of who you have around you, because I didn't
Golden
plan
retrievers don't live very long.
Yeah, and
They sit down real happy and they enjoying being
Golden
in here,
retriever.
Golden retrievers
Not yes,
don't
sir.
last very long.
Golden retriever.
I like Sir Yes Sir too.
It goes.
Because Sir Yes Sir is a good name, because it's like the only value that I saw being provided was that when Sir Yes Sir was speaking, Danny had more time to think.
Exactly.
It was just time to fill up air so Danny could say, let me think of a real point.
It takes a minute to
quick.
scroll through those notes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Every time he stopped speaking, I died laughing. I said, this nigga don't know a fucking thing. This nigga don't know anything.
That's what the
Golden
funniest part
retriever.
was.
That shit was lit, nigga. That video was lit.
Yeah.
It sucked, nigga. You paid and didn't perform. That's crazy. You're not ready for this over here. You're not ready for this.
Yeah, it's not time.
Yeah,
man. You gotta
yeah.
check your sources. You gotta flush out your sentences a little bit more because they stopped kind of bluntly.
Danny correcting you as a good leader should. He's correcting you mid-speech because you over here flying off the handle trying to get you a moment. Danny says, AJ talked about that already. He did. There's nothing wrong with on-screen coaching. Danny, as a new leader, because you're starting this podcast network, coaching is okay. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all try to bring that moment up like that was a diss moment. Nigga, there's nothing wrong with coaching. We the same niggas running around here telling people why their podcast suck. Yeah. Well, it'd be crazy if you didn't see us correcting each other on the things that we podcast. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That's crazy. That is crazy.
That would be hypocrisy.
Yeah. So if anything, y'all should be fucking with that moment. Yeah, and appreciating that moment. But a moment that nobody will ever see because legally is the stupidest thing that you could possibly do is have a contract negotiation during your goddamn podcast.
That's interesting.
That was crazy.
That is what
was up with that?
There's not a single lawyer in the history of history that would ever suggest you doing that. That wasn't a moment of transparency like it was supposed to be frank. That was a misstep in you as a new network owner. That was a misstep. And the misstep in that was if you were going to have, in the perfect world, if you were going to have that and legally anything like that couldn't hurt you later down the line, and this was a great contract and things of that nature, that would have been cool, right? That would have been cool. But the fact of the type of contract we heard, and the spin that we heard, nasty, nigga. Who do you have around you? This is crazy. Now, I want 𝙿𝙾𝚂𝚃 in my corner. That's a smooth talking nigga right there. It's a smooth talking nigga.
He'll make you sign a bad deal.
What? Happily.
He'll make you put your blood on it.
Happily. That nigga said, if you don't like the word, I don't want. I said, damn, this nigga's good.
You can't even repeat it, but you feel it.
His synonym game is crazy.
This nigga's good.
You don't like that one? I got another one for you.
I can't even. I wouldn't even
analogies for days.
Confusion.
I wouldn't even got that far. Like, hell, that shit is never being on camera if that's what's happening. I think he's a great businessman, though, for sure. And your interest, obviously not. You know that as well, too. Because for the people that don't know, this is crazy, y'all. But and there's a reason. The shit that blew my mind is when I watched that, Danny, I said, you doing all that science, how the fuck did this happen? Because you also brought, like, are we actually paying attention or are we just finding moments to make the content out of? Because you brought up two people and how they structured their contract. Also, number one, the fact that we can do so well on a clip about a contract negotiation publicly is not a good thing already, right? So we already know we should not be doing this publicly because we're YouTubers able to eat off of that.
Yeah, there's
so
too much PDA.
So you shouldn't have done that. But then you also brought up 𝙿𝙾𝚃 and 𝙿𝙾𝚃 and said they don't have this perpetuity line. And I don't understand how you don't understand why they have it that way. They have it that way because they're able to pay the talent straight out for the appearance. It's as simple as that. So if you're not paying Shammy for the appearances, that type of deal can't get struck. But if y'all are going off a percentage thing, perpetuity is terminology that will always be in the picture.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's just what it is. But if you want to have
the universe,
but if you want to have a 𝙿𝙾𝚃 and an 𝙿𝙾𝚃 situation to where it don't matter, then you pay the nigga for his appearance, and that's all you do.
But your lawyers aren't Jewish enough for you to understand that.
And this is your channel. At the end of that video, niggas started fantasizing about sitting on Joe Budden's couch. I said, this is crazy.
But we the ones that was singing into him.
This is crazy.
Apparently you was there.
This is crazy. You're a new network owner.
Yeah.
Where is that? Keep that science. Get on it, bro.
Keep that science. And you see the thing about science is you got to do experiments, and sometimes they go horribly wrong.
It's hypothetical.
Sometimes you lose an arm in the process.
But for somebody to do the science, we expect your first attempt. The missteps in this intro, the missteps to branching out a network, the serious ones too, not the light ones, the serious ones.
Yeah,
the serious ones, like the contracting. Like, oh no, we can't be doing this, man. Recognizing the type of people that you're keeping around. Never do a podcast with your biggest fan. It's not going to work out.
Nope.
We see it on camera.
That's goofy all the time.
Never do your podcast with your biggest fan. You need a podcast with people that are qualified to podcast with you.
Yeah, somebody who's not afraid of you.
Yeah, so
or at least whose livelihood isn't dependent on you.
Who isn't trying to scave his way out of anything.
Out of purgatory.
And your man, this was the most beautiful part about part one of that video is everything that he said.
Who, sir, yes, sir? Yeah,
everything sir, yes, sir said. He's sitting next to a man that does the same thing. That was another thing that had bothered me in Danny's first video, which is why I have no problem standing on what my anger from last week is that you ran that manipulation clip like there wasn't me being calling you a manipulator or aligning yourself with Joe Budden tags. You do, bro. You also can't be mad, like if you want these like pinpoint moments. And when people felt like you did snake-like behavior, the first time we covered you, you had snaked Rory, right? I never hold none of that against you, but that was something that Jay Nobles and Tony had brought up. This shit looks snaky. It does look snaky. It is what it is. I can't
call a spade a spade.
Yeah, I ignore them because I ignored them because I fucked with you. But then if we just think about it, you have a couple of these moments. You have the moments with Shammy where it's like, come on.
Why?
Objectively, we know what that looks like. And don't get offended. You always got to stand in it. I said that the first video we talked about you and we actually covered it. I said, look, man, I'd have said fuck it and still put it out and not cared about the Roy relationship. But
you gotta understand,
don't snake and run from it. Stand on it. Stand on it.
Taking offense to it is his disguise. That's how you deflect from taking any accountability
Stand
about
on
it.
It's all good.
Because anytime he's ever responded to something, he's like, man, I have no idea where this is coming from.
Let's not do that.
Like he takes
That's all good.
He takes the wormy approach and just like, nigga, just put your feet on the floor and sit on the couch and just say what happened.
And you hate Joe Budden. I do want to throw that out there as well too.
It's resentment.
You do not like him.
No, it's almost like how like your girlfriend can love you and hate you with the same amount of passion.
Yeah.
It's the same infatuation.
Yeah, you really don't like him. And that does come off slightly in the videos. I think as a personality, it would be good to start giving us different content outside of him because you're never gonna beat that allegation. You might love it, but it's certain things. If you're trying to branch this thing out, you also got to think about what the people under you are gonna say about you. So, LOI don't have to say, yeah, AJ. All he does is cover Charlemagne the God because it's not true. You know what I'm saying? You want to at least get. It might not bother you, but it might bother the people that you're bringing under your wing. You know what I'm saying? Just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying.
And it should bother you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is you don't like him. You really hate him. You really hate him, and it's crazy. So there is a slight resentment because he was throwing in your face. I can get Menace and them niggas hotter than you. I get it. I get it. I still stand on don't take it out on me. That's some shit that he did. Yeah. But also, don't dare try to double down on how bad and manipulative Joe Budden is when you do the same things that he does. Yeah. Let's keep that same energy at all times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because the dynamic
and don't run from it when the nigga approaches you about it either. You know what I'm saying? Don't say, just do one of these. Oh man, you niggas is tripping. You just play it off. That's all you gotta do.
But he don't know how to play it off.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. But
because Joe Budden actually has the social cues to be able to pull off what Danny wants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He actually has the strings to pull.
Rocky Thunder's been trying to eat him alive this week. She's been cooking them. They've been cooking each other. Honestly, they're the perfect two people to kind of like cook at each other at, but they also shouldn't be cooking each other. Yeah. They should be allies. You know what I'm saying? But they had a moment where she's like, "Nigga, you do the same things that you hate this nigga for," and he says bad shit about her. It's like they going tit for tat. You're Danny from the Stop. What are you going tit for tat? You can't do that. Swamp. Danny from the Swamp. You gotta get that for now. Yeah. At least for this episode.
Bleep it, Lauren.
Yeah. But yeah, you hate him. There's definitely some resentment. I can understand that. Don't let that come out in your videos though either. Because don't let that come out in your videos.
Now it's embarrassing to look at. I'll be feeling sad.
Nah, honestly, I want better for Danny.
I brought that up for a reason.
You broke it down like that for what?
I brought that up for a reason.
For a particular reason.
Yeah.
But we addressed the dead weight.
Yeah. I think that's it. No, that's not exactly it. In your start of this new podcast, I did cover the Shammy jit. I covered the Shammy contract episode. Let's talk about the episode before that. Please be mindful of your safety. You are Danny from the Stop. You might not realize you're Danny from the Stop, but people want to be next to you so they can get clout off of you. Mm-hmm. We are also now in positions where punching us is going to go get a decent amount of views.
And he's going to make it really easy for them.
Yeah, if you get punched, if I get punched, if anybody part of this sector is the first to get swung on by anybody that we've talked about, that's going crazy. Let's be clear.
Especially if you miss.
Yeah, especially if you miss. But now, just getting swung on alone is the headline. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You need to move smarter, bruh. That second episode I saw was Space and Shammy. Heineken of Bag Fuel just walks in.
Like they had keys.
That's crazy.
That's scary.
It threw you off. It threw me off. I was like, oh, no, I'm not fucking with that shit. We stopping everything. What's up? Who the fuck? What's happening? Why didn't I know he's coming? Mind you, it's not like, let me make this clear too. It's not like Heineken came in and was like, what's popping, nigga? You know, he didn't come in on that, but just having somebody who was not invited at that time slot present there.
You have to know.
And somebody that you talked about, so you don't know how they feel.
Exactly.
That's an issue.
You don't know what their agenda is.
That's a problem. That is 100% a problem. I don't know who was the one that did that. You need to make sure that never happens again.
Yeah.
It also might help not going to places that everybody that we talk about might frequent, these public studios. I know that's like what they do in New York. You know, we're in the South. We're blessed. We're sitting on our own land. We built our own studio.
Howdy.
Niggas ain't evicting nothing over here. You know what I'm saying?
You see, that's the motto of the South, man.
We do it on our own. Don't ask nobody for shit. But if you want to extend the olive brands, we would love to reciprocate. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be careful when you even popping in. You scheduling time for these people. And whoever is the reason why Heineken showed up, even though it wasn't no like aggression pulling in. But Danny did say in this video, Heineken just walked in with his chest sticking out. He had some sort of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Shammy might need to be looked at sideways.
I was about to say.
You can have a nigga walking with his chest up in your studio.
Yeah, not when you supposed to be the boss.
That's a hazard.
Not during my time. My time, this is like my little apartment.
This your thing.
Yeah.
I said that's the biggest chest in this room.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Well, Danny, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Be mindful of.
But he don't like the parents jokes.
Be mindful of who you have around you. That's the most important thing. I ain't gonna snake you.
No.
If I snake you, I'll do it openly though.
Yeah,
I'll tell
you know what I mean?
I said, I'm about to snake you, nigga. I'll tell you straight up. But I still
like
a
Looney Tunes trap.
I still fuck with Danny, and it's even us going back and forth in the levels that we're both at. It's goofy as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you made this shit corny, Danny. This is stupid.
We gotta shoot up. But
not that way though.
Yeah, but I do want to end this segment with
I say, well, this is so stressful. You gotta do hard drugs.
I do want to end this segment with office hours from Carl, Uncle Carl.
Okay.
And I think it's a perfect way to end this segment. And
shout out
OG Carl.
Carl the Conqueror.
Let's go.
What's up, fellas? This is your Uncle Carl. Hey, check this out. I left the message earlier, but I just unsent it. Because I really didn't have nothing to talk about. But now I was just sitting there scrolling through YouTube, and this little podcast where Danny popped up from the stop. Him and some other dude, I really don't know who the dude is. But then they started talking bad about you. About y'all, you know what I'm saying? About y'all. It really kind of, anything that really made trip me out. Like, man, I'm kind of getting pissed off. Like, how they talking about my homeboy like that? But check this out. You got one thing you have to understand about niggas like that, and it's three of them. It's Danny from the Stop, it's DJ Academics, and then it's Maul from the Rory and Maul show. Now check the other message, AJ. I don't want to hear all that. Just
played from the top, Lord.
Okay, here it is. Okay, these three people, Academics. Maul, not Rory, and Danny from the Stop of what I call Drake type niggas. You know what I'm saying? They all were Drake fans, but the thing about it is, they think the more money that you have really means the cooler you are. Like all the girls should want you because you got the most money. And just like Kendrick said, you know what I'm saying, that money ain't gonna do it. That money ain't gonna make you cool, you know what I'm saying? You can have the money, all the money in the world, but you still ain't gonna be cool. So y'all just remain cool, man. I like your show and everything, you know that. But my thing is, man, don't worry about Danny. And I don't even know who this other dude was that was trying to sit there and talk noise. Y'all have a good one, man. Holla back.
Shout out to Uncle Carl. When your elders speak, you listen and take heed.
That's it.
Carl is from the Boondocks universe. This nigga sound like,
you know what I mean? But you gotta understand, Carl has seen 1 billion Dannies in his lifetime.
He's seen a
exactly.
lot.
He's exterminated this species a couple times.
These hoe ass niggas.
I love what he said. He
Drake
said,
fans.
He's just like listening. He said, I fucked around and started getting mad.
Yeah.
Started getting pissed
Talking
off.
about my boys like that,
I love
man.
that shit, man.
And shout out to, because Carl wasn't the only one, man. Shout out Leak and a couple other people.
Yeah, a couple other
It was
niggas.
niggas going to war in the comments.
They were.
They was holding it down for the Menace Material family.
You know, we've never told y'all to go, sick them.
Yeah,
but we
right.
appreciate
We
y'all
appreciate
doing
that,
that.
We
man.
appreciate y'all acting like family.
Especially
Yeah.
from Danny, man. Nigga being mean, man.
Hell yeah. He's goofy ass.
Talking about my looks. Come on, man. We might have to just DM this nigga.
No, fuck that.
Fuck that. Really?
Nigga, what you talking about?
He's gonna be watching this though.
He don't know, but he don't fuck with y'all. So y'all don't have to fuck with him no more.
It's no point.
At least it's out there now.
There's no point.
You know what I'm saying?
It's your friend, and now when we joking him, he
He's
can know
my
that it comes
content.
from. Now
Me
when
and
we,
him have a content connection.
exactly, and
Yeah.
now when we joke on him, he can know for sure it's coming from a mean place.
Yeah.
It's coming from hate.
I was about to say.
Right.
Now you're Danny from
now
the
there's
swamp.
now there's no more confusion.
There's no more. Yeah, there's transparency. That's all we needed.
Yeah,
Just
that's
to move
it.
forward.
That's it. But all right, man. I'll see y'all in the next one.
Yeah.